Welcome to our next video. Today is Sunday the 16th of Feb, so you are watching this pretty much in real time. We're on the final countdown to Florida. We actually go to Florida in just a couple of days' time.
So next video that you're going to see from us will be our travel day, and that will be out next weekend. So there's a lot coming up in this next series of videos. It's Lowell's birthday while we're out there, and then we're going on our first ever cruise to the Caribbean.
So if you aren't subscribed to our channel, please hit that subscribe button. It is totally free and won't cost you a penny. And that way you won't miss any upcoming videos of ours.
So in this video, we're going to talk about why we've made the decision not to rent out our condo anymore and how we've got to that decision.
So the way we're going to explain it as to why we have made that decision and the factors surrounding that is basically like a timeline starting from when we got our condo, the issues that we've come across, the issues and problems that other owners have had, and some have literally been this past couple of weeks. So I have written down like all my notes and the timeline of the order of things that have happened in the time that we bought a condo. So start off with, when we bought a condo, we had people in it with the day of exchange, and we had bookings surrounding it of when the contracts exchanged. So to make it easier for us, the previous owner was with the on-site management company, and we carried on with the on-site management company. And in that decision, we basically left it up to the management company to decide our nightly rate. We had so much going off, as you can imagine, with the purchase of our holiday home and everything else surrounding it. So for us, it was just a lot easier to just basically let them decide how much they charge per night. And ultimately, they're the experts, we're not. So we had no idea really, did we?
Well, it was all new to us, so with little experience, we thought they were in the best position to make the decisions and set the rates and things like that. Yeah,
and we did have a lot of bookings for the rest of that year. So this was we bought it in July 2023.
So they set the price per night, and they also set the minimum length that somebody could stay in it. I think they could stay in it just for one night if they wanted to, initially.
I can't remember what it was initially, but so after probably 6 months of leaving it to the management company to make these decisions, we were still finding our feet, and like the whole billing and the monthly costs and expenses, setting up, things to pay our bills, our bank account, we had to do a lot. So after 6 months of basically leaving it to them, which probably is a fault on our behalf, after about 6 months, there was a 6-month gap where at the time we couldn't get back out there. If you watched our vlogs from the very beginning of this channel, we bought a condo in the July and we was back out there in August. So we only had to wait 4 weeks until we went to our condo. Well, between that trip and our next trip, it was a 6-month gap, and we did have a lot of bookings. So if you watch from the beginning, you'll have seen that we basically replaced 90% of all the furniture with brand new furniture. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars renovating it to a much more nicer standard, because our furniture that came with the condo, it was very old, outdated, and it all needed replacing.
So if you're interested in seeing what the condo looked like before, click on our channel and look at the earlier videos, and you'll see the transformation from where it was back then to what it is now.
Although I do think, like when we did the videos first off, I think we've got a lot more better on camera.
A lot more.
So it's just a bit, if you can get past us being complete newbies to vlogging, because it was alien to us, just to basically, as Matt said, just to basically see what our condo looked like when we bought it.
So hopefully you'll see an improvement in the condo and in these videos.
But so carrying on with this point, and there is a point to it and a bit of a story. So there was a 6-month gap between them, we went out, and in them 6 months, after nearly every booking, there were items that went missing or got damaged that we had to replace. And then when we did eventually visit 6 months later, there was a lot of damage on our brand new furniture, which we were really unhappy about because of how many thousands we'd spent. There was a lot of damage. At that time, after speaking to loads of other owners about our problem that we've had with damage and stuff, we saw that our nightly rate, our management company, the lowest minimum rate was $59 per night, which was really, really low. Comparing it to other people's rental prices on the property, it was just stupidly low. So after speaking to the owners, they suggested that we increase the minimum nightly rate to much higher rate, and also that we upped the minimum night stay. So I can't remember what it was. It might have been one minimum night stay. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So we upped it to 3 minimum nights. So people couldn't book it for less than 3 nights. And the reason why the owners suggested that is because it was to try and change the clientele that we was getting in our condo.
Yeah. So we made the decision that we upped our minimum price per night to $105 and upped the minimum length of stay to 3 nights. Now that has led to a reduction in the number of bookings that we've seen, but it has brought us in line with other owners. Now the area is oversaturated with condos. They're building more and more condo blocks right now as we speak, to be honest. So, and there's a lot more listings on Airbnb, VRBO, that kind of thing that we're sort of competing with.
So we didn't pluck the $105 per night out of thin air. We did a lot of research of basically all the rest of the condos on our resort to see how much they were charging, what their condo looked like. You know, a lot of them have been completely renovated, so they're charging upwards of $150 per night. Yeah. So we basically matched our condo with others that look like ours and how much were they charging, and we matched it. So it was $105 per night. And then just with Florida and Orlando as a whole, especially in our area, they're constantly building. They are building left, right and centre all over. There's new resorts, there's new villas, there's new gated communities. It's never ending.
There's that many new communities. They've had to build 2 new fire stations.
Oh yeah, so right, yeah, on the last trip.
They'll have popped up this time. They were close to being finished when we were last out there. So they'll be there just to accommodate for the amount of extra condos. So
the next issue that has happened on multiple occasions since we've owned our condo and have been part of our resort community is that sadly, very sadly, owners' condos have been trashed by guests. And it's happened, the most recent of only a couple of weeks ago. Basically, hundreds of us owners are on a private, massive group chat, and the chat is constant. It's such a great community. All us owners help each other out, advice, you know, whether it's a HOA question, whether they want to change something. It's such a great community, but sadly, that's where we find out that people's condos have been trashed. And 2 weeks ago, an owner had put on that the management company went to clean their condo after it was supposedly a family of 4. Yeah. It was 2 adults and 2 children on the booking. But when they went to clean the condo, it was completely and utterly trashed. And also there was 4 air mattresses blown up in the condo as well. And the owner doesn't have a video doorbell, but one of their neighbours does. Yeah. And they captured on the CCTV of their video doorbell that it was a group of 10 men that were staying in the condo. Yeah. The condo was in a state of complete disrepair, and they're currently in the process of going through their insurance. And sadly, that's happened multiple times since we've owned it. And for us, our condo it means everything to us, absolutely everything. And that could be us. That could be our condo could get trashed and we wouldn't know.
I mean, we do pay extra on the bookings, that's another cut that they take from the profits for insurance, liability insurance, and then to also cover a condo being trashed. But it's something you don't want to...
It's the process. Yeah. Nobody wants to go through any insurance process. It's just painstakingly, isn't it?
Yeah.
To go through any insurance, whether it be car insurance, home insurance, any insurance. No one wants to go through it.
And we'd still be at a loss. Say that happened to us. There's excesses. You'd have to go out there and sort it all out. There's the expense of travel and hiring a car, and that's another reason that's put us off. So there's also lots of additional costs that we would save by not renting out in the future. So the first one is what's called the linen program. So the linen program covers all your bedding. That's $450 per year.
I'm sure it goes up every year as well, like everything else.
It does, yeah.
But our last bill last year was $450.
Yeah, and so for that, they'll replace any bedding that gets damaged. So with this linen program, they provide the bedding for the condo. So going forward, if we're not renting it out, the bedding would just be for us anyway. So that's something we can sort out. Another saving that we would make is on the energy bills. So when somebody's not in the condo, we wouldn't need to have the air conditioning cranked on right now, because when somebody else is stopping in it and they're not responsible for the utility bills, they have the air conditioning as low as it'll go. They have all the ceiling fans on to get the circulation going, and then it makes it ice cold, which is pleasant when you're stopping in it, but not when you're the one paying the bill. So if there's no one in it, we'd keep it at a set value that's good for the condo, because you can't just turn it off, otherwise everything goes mouldy. But we've seen that when it's just on tick over, it's not that expensive. It
costs us, just to give you an idea, which I think we've mentioned this in a different video. Oh, our expenses video.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, we mentioned about the energy costs in our expense video, but if you haven't seen that video, I'm just going to quickly give you an idea. Yeah. When there's nobody in our condo, our monthly bill was about $30, which is absolutely incredible. When someone's in it, it can be upwards of $150.
And this is just the electricity bill?
This is just the energy bill. Yeah. This is just the aircon bill.
Yeah,
and basically the electricity. Yeah.
So at the moment, we also have to pay what's called an advertising fee. So that is the fee that our management company charge us for advertising, listing our condo for rental. So that costs us $75 per month, whether we get any rentals or not. Yeah. That's a regular $75 that they're charging us. So at the moment, we're always owing the management company money at the end of the month because there's not been any income. The final saving that we're going to make is on the annual tax return that we have to do. So at the moment, because we're receiving income from the rental, we have to submit our taxes to a tax management company that do our accounts, then submit those to the IRS. So that costs us about $350 each per year. And there's also been a lot of hassle doing that as well. There's always back and forth or corrections that have to be made or something like that. So
that could be a whole different video because basically it took us the entirety of last year to submit our tax returns because there was just problem after problem after problem. And we are still waiting for our tax refund from last year.
Yes, we are.
Which we still haven't got.
Because some tax was withheld by our management company and paid to the IRS on our behalf. Well, when you submit the accounts, and we made a loss last year, so that tax is due back to us. So we're still waiting.
So because we decided not to rent out anymore, next year will be our last tax return that we will have to submit because it's obviously for this year. But it means after that, it should be our last one because effectively there is no business. That we are closing down our rental business, and our condo will just be for private use only, and we won't be making any income whatsoever. No. So another factor that I want to tell you about, because we found out about it, we didn't even know about this. But again, it was sadly due to damage, which was how we found out about it. Yeah. So, service dogs are protected in America under federal law, I think it's called. Yeah. So across America as a whole, service dogs are protected, which means that a service dog can go and stop in any property in the US.
Even those marked as non-pet friendly properties, you have to allow somebody to stop there with a service animal.
So on our listings, we have got no pets allowed. Now, the only reason why we found out about this was an owner about 3 or 4 months ago. So when their guest left and their management company cleaning team went in to clean the condo, sadly, there was dog poo throughout their whole condo, treaded into the carpet. It was covered in dog poo. She had to have a professional cleaner come out to try and get the dog poo out of their carpet, and they couldn't. It was too severe. So she is currently, again, another owner going through the insurance because they've had to rip up the carpet throughout her entire condo. And she couldn't understand how this had happened because just like us, it says no dogs or pets allowed on the listing. She doesn't allow pets. And she found out that because service dogs are protected, they can go into your condo. But we don't know whether it was a service dog that did that or it was somebody with a dog pretending it was a service dog when in actual fact it wasn't. It obviously wasn't trained at all because it pooed throughout the entire condo. Whether it was or wasn't, nobody knows. But or people take advantage of that and take their pets when they aren't a service dog, claiming they're a service dog when they're not.
That obviously hasn't been trained.
Now, it's also a massive issue when we found out, and I contacted our manager about that because I am severely allergic to dogs, and we never knew that that was a federal law in America at all.
Yeah.
And neither did that other owner. She didn't know. That's how she found out. Told the rest of us what's happened in a condo and what she's been told, and that's how we found out. So I contacted our manager and says, look, this is really alarming because I'm severely allergic to dogs and all animals with fur. It's on my medical records. I says I can provide proof that I am allergic to dogs or any animals with fur, and because I can't have dogs in our condo.
No.
He replied to us basically what I've just says to you guys, that there's nothing they can do about it, that service dogs are protected under federal law. Whilst this conversation was happening on the owners, surrounding the owners group chat, quite a lot of other people have spoke up and said that was the reason why they had to pull their condo from the rental market. Somebody says that her husband is allergic to dogs, so they don't rent out anymore for that one reason. And lots of other people, I was quite surprised actually how many, because I don't know anybody, I've never known anybody in my life that's allergic to animals like me. But it's more common than what you think, because loads of other owners have says that they've got a relative or their husband, their wife, their partner, their kids, they're allergic to animals. So, and they can't, that's why they don't rent.
Yeah.
So that's another big factor as to one of the reasons why we're just going to keep it for ourselves.
And we have noticed as well in our condo that, I think this was perhaps there from before we bought it, there has been a dog that's chewed one of the door frames and one of the doors. That's something we're going to look at rectifying at some point, but it's just another concern that we want to avoid. So it's further justified the decision to stop rentals. So fortunately, we've had a change in circumstances that means that we can be out there more often throughout the year. There's only going to be a few month gap between each visit. So that's another reason that has helped us make this decision. And also just everything we've mentioned, it's just not worth the stress in having to worry about these, especially being so far away. It's not like we can just nip down the road and go and rectify any issues or check on the condo. So for us, it's
peace of mind knowing that nobody's been in it. So when we are in it, we leave it as we leave it, and we know that's how it's going to be when we turn up and we go back.
And with there not being any guests in there, we can set up sort of indoor security cameras. So, if there's a hurricane, something like that, we can just log on to the cameras and make sure everything's all right, there's no leaks.
We feel like if our circumstances were that we could only go out once per year, which some owners can. They only go out once a year. And if our calendar was fully booked and we was raking the money in, then I think maybe we would have a different mindset.
Yeah.
But because we will be going every few months, we go for a long period of time the most for each of our visits. The cost of it, we've only had a few bookings, so money-wise, we're going to be saving money not renting it out than renting it out, which sounds crazy, but that's the truth for us.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean we're not going to rent it out in the future. So when we do eventually move to America, and we will, one day we will move to America, maybe we will keep it and, you know, or maybe we'll sell it. But if we do keep it, we'll probably be renting it out again, because when we eventually move to Florida at some point in our life, then we will, if we decide to keep it, then we will be renting it out, but we won't be stopping in it. So that's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a different set of circumstances. So as of right now, it's definitely the right decision for us, and also the circumstances surrounding our life and how many times we can go over there and use it.
Yeah.
So for us, it makes a lot more sense for us to do what we're going to be doing. But yeah, in the future, who knows what we're going to do, or, you know, what's going to happen. And because we are not going to be renting out anymore, we do want to do the full renovations, because that's why we've not replaced the bathrooms, we've not had it repainted, we've not had new carpet, because we've seen the damage that's happened. We don't want to be spending tens of thousands of pounds and it getting trashed.
Yeah.
So that's another reason, or I suppose another factor to add. Another reason why we've come to the decision is that we want to renovate it more, but we don't want to get it damaged.
So in our videos, you're still going to see all the renovations that we're going to be doing. Nothing will be changing video-wise. If anything, we're more likely to be making bigger renovations and more changes for ourselves. So don't worry, the content's not going to change. But yeah, the changes will be for us, not with guests in mind.
Yeah. So we're really interested to know what your guys' thoughts are. If you owned a holiday home in Florida, would you rent it out? Would you keep it for yourself? Would you rent it out but lower the rate to get more bookings, but that has a risk of more damage? You know, I'm really interested. So let us know what you would do in our situation.
Be interesting to see your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Right, so we're going to end this video here. Our next video will be travelling to Florida.
Yay!
We can't wait. So yeah, really looking forward to that next trip.
So I want to say thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to leave us your opinions in our comments below on what you would do if you owned a holiday home in Florida. I can't wait to see what you guys think and what you would do. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Sunday when it will be our travel day going back to Florida. We cannot wait. Thanks for watching. Bye.